What's happening, everyone? Getting a beautiful view out here. This is going to be our first video on the Bluebird Enterprises engineering channel. We're getting a first startup of my dad's 69 Camaro. It'll be very exciting. So look forward to that shortly. So the nickname for this car is Bogamir, and it's a 1969 Camaro. My dad converted it to a big block quite a while ago. It was owned by my great uncle Joe, who is kind of a crazy guy. And it's been wrecked multiple times, but it's a trooper, and it keeps going down the road. And it's finally got some love. I'm making these videos from the future, so I kind of know what happened and how it's doing now. And yeah, this first startup of the 468 went pretty well. And as you'll see, we had a couple issues, and I might do a couple explanations throughout the video. It'll do that. So it's kind of funny, you know, I said maybe it's 180 out, but I actually hadn't known what that specifically meant. I knew that it meant that something's wrong and it can cause it to backfire. So I did a little research, and I found out that, so the camshaft gear spins at half the speed of the crankshaft gear, and the camshaft spins the distributor gear at a 1-to-1 ratio, as I'll explain in the next slide. And therefore, the engine is basically trying to fire on an incorrect stroke. So if I go to this next slide, so this is the camshaft, and then at the end of the camshaft there's a distributor gear, or there's a gear for the distributor, and then the distributor gear spins off this, and they spin at a 1-to-1 ratio. So they're basically spinning at half the RPM of the engine. So therefore, instead of the spark plug going off at the power stroke, it's actually a whole revolution out. So it's trying to fire on the intake stroke, because there's 2 revolutions for the 4 cycles. So it's trying to fire 2 cycles early, basically. So from 3 to the to the intake stroke, and that's why it backfires through the intake. And as you can see, I put this arrow to show, where you can imagine if the spark plug went off while this intake valve was still open, then it would come out and through the carburetor. And therefore 180 out means that the engine is firing on the intake stroke instead of the power stroke, and therefore, as I said, it backfires through the carburetor. But that wasn't the case for this, you know, for this specific situation. But I thought I'd, you know, do a little explanation of what that meant. Hopefully it kind of clears it up if you're curious.
Hang on. Okay. Yeah, it's too advanced.
You sure?
Well, I got it back all the way, and it sounds like it wants to run.
Okay.
So we got to lift it out and
Spin it.
yeah,
You can stay in Leicester, huh?
And tube, man.
Well, the tube isn't the problem, it's just too far back.
But the tube, it shouldn't be up that high, right there by the distributor.
Nice. Okay, it's gonna run now. Probably. Coming on. Thankfully, old Bogamir is back on the road. There were a few, complications trying to get it started, but overall, it's been running good. It's still kind of in the break-in phase, but overall, my dad's pretty happy with it. I'm trying to push him to get a carburetor because I think the one on there is a little bit tired. It's kind of been on a couple of our cars, and I don't know, it might be a Christmas present for him. But we've got quite a few cars, so I'll try and keep you updated on them. And as you see in a future video, I'm working on a Honda Prelude, so look forward to that. And overall, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Happy New Year 2021. Pretty exciting. Cheers.